This woman was married to a Hamas terrorist in Gaza, and she's speaking out about her what led her to do that, what life was like in Gaza. And my wife told me, Hananya, you have to watch this interview. It's just amazing, so powerful. And I said, you know what? I'm going to save this interview and watch it together with you guys. So if you're new here, Shalom, I'm Hananya Naftali reporting from Israel. And every now and then, I love to react to videos together with you guys. I think it's so much fun. And by the way, if you're new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot, especially in the world of censorship and anti-Israel platforms and whatnot. But I'm super excited to react to this together with you because I think that we're going to get a very interesting inside look here. So without further ado, let's just begin.
Juman al-Kawafsmi, you were once married to a member of Hamas inside Gaza, but what happened next is a story you have to hear to believe. But before we get started, my friend, what was your opinion of Christians and Jews growing up?
Okay, I had born and raised in Qatar, and my father is one of the founders of Hamas. So my father and my mom, they raised us to hate Israel and hate Jewish, hate Christian, and even hate the Shia, the Muslim, the Shia, and hate everyone who's not belong to Hamas and curse them. And yeah, I just want to say sorry, but we used to curse all the Christian and the Jewish. We feel like we
I just have to say, watching her asking for forgiveness, first of all, just makes me wanna cry. It just means so much to me. Like, I was born and raised in Israel, spent my childhood here. Like, I spent my life here, and I never really. That's a question that we always ask ourselves: what is their freaking problem with us? Why do they want us out of our ancestral homeland? Or even, let's put it in a more simple way: why do they hate us? I mean, aren't we just human beings? Palestinians, Israelis, what does it matter, the title that you carry before or after you saying that you're a human being? So if you ever wanted to know why we don't see peace today in our times, and why, in my opinion, we will only see peace when there will be a change in this dictatorial regime that rules over Palestinians in Gaza and the Palestinian Authority. She's giving the answer. She's giving the inside look. And the answer is because they were teaching her from a young age to hate everybody that is not Hamas, that is not, they don't think the same way that they do. And this is, by the way, my friends, the definition of radicalism. If you can't tolerate someone that thinks different because, they have a different opinion than you, then you are a radical. But apparently she also became Christian, from what I understood from the title. So I really want to watch this together with you. Let's react.
should kill them because this is what Quran say. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but we used to believe in Islam, like we should kill all the Jewish, and even Jesus will come back and fighting with us, and he will break the cross and kill the pig, and the trees and the rock will call the Muslim and say, "Oh, Muslim, there is a Jewish behind me, come and kill." So it was crazy.
By the way, it's not just the Jews that Hamas has a problem with. She clarifies it. She says they also have a problem with Christians, and even if Jesus is going to come, he's going to face our wrath. So this is just insane, this radical ideology. And to think that still in our world, Israel is the one being blamed for perpetrating this conflict. The only way we're going to see an end to this enduring conflict is, first of all, long term, in my opinion, is when the Messiah is going to come, and according to the biblical truth, that's going to end wars and conflict. But I also think that in the shorter term, it's to change the education system, to stop teaching Palestinians to hate us. Hamas was lying to people like her and to Palestinians. They said that they're gonna live lavish lives and they're gonna have great lives. At the end of the day, it's just Hamas that had great lives at the expense of the Palestinian people.
Wow. So your father was one of the founding members of Hamas. You were eventually married to a Hamas member inside Gaza. How did you come to know Jesus?
Okay, I've been married for 13 years in Gaza, but it was between 2002, I moved to Gaza. And in 2012, I started having questioning because I saw what Hamas doing in Gaza when they take on control. They said like we're coming here to make everyone equality, and they give people promises, and nothing happened. And they've been like, they said we hate Fatah. Fatah is the organization was in control on Gaza before Hamas. And they asked people to give them their vote in the elections. And I gave my vote to Hamas. I'm sorry for this, but I did this in 2007, I think, or 2006.
I just want to point out, since then, they did not have any elections. And I mean, even when they had it back then, it was through the power of force and fear, and not democratic elections like we know in the West.
But they just make Gaza more worse, and they start killing the Palestinians. They start to...
Who started killing the Palestinians? Who started killing the Palestinians? Let's hear that.
2007, I think, or 2006. But they just make Gaza more worse, and they start killing the Palestinians. They start to make us feeling, if you are not belong to Hamas, you should be scared.
This is what Hamas stands for. She's saying, and a woman who lived in Gaza for 12 or 13 years, and she's saying they were killing Palestinians. They were killing those who were not in full agreement with Hamas. Now compare that with Muslims living in Israel. You can in Israel, you can literally protest with the flag of Palestine that, in my opinion, represents terrorism and bloodshed. But you can do that and go back home and nothing's going to happen to you. You can protest against the government of Israel, against the prime minister of Israel, and nothing's going to happen to you. Muslims, Christians, Jews, Druze, all minorities are safe in Israel, while in Gaza, of course, you don't want to. Let's not even ask what's going to happen to me as a Jew if I enter Gaza. But the Christians are also really not doing good there. But Muslims, they even kill Muslims in Gaza.
But I keep thinking, and that time ISIS showing, and they've been killing a lot of people, Muslims people. And I feel like something wrong with this religion. And, I just jumping, because I raised in Islam, I never been satisfied with God. I never been, I feel God will never be happy on me. I don't have any guarantee to go to Jannah. I'm always scared from hell. I'm always scared when they put me on my grave, there's a snake coming to make me suffering. And so Islam is not give you peace, and you're always scared something wrong will happen. I did this prayer, maybe God didn't accept it from me. I have to do more and more. So I start thinking, and there's someone, he's close to me. I don't want to mention his name because his safety. He told me he became an atheist, and he asked me to read the Quran without holiness, like a regular book. Because, the Quran is all about killing. It's all about Muhammad's story when he married his son, and he had a son. He adopted a son, and then he decided to marry his wife. So he said, Allah sent a verse in Quran, ask his son to divorce his wife, and Muhammad will take her. And so I feel okay, Quran does not make sense, and it will never be that God of Quran is the real God, because it's psychopath God, and nothing makes sense for me in Quran. So I feel okay, I didn't believe there is no God. I didn't become an atheist, but I've been praying every single day. God, if you exist, I want to know you. I want to meet you, because I know deep inside there is a God. I couldn't believe this is, the universe.
Wow, I have to say this is just mind blowing. Just sitting and listening to her story. And by the way, I made an interview with an ex-Muslim woman from Iran, and actually, it's really interesting how a lot of ex-Muslims, they have this same uh, a lot of similarities in their stories, that they started to have dreams, that they say that Jesus would come to them in their dreams, or just dreaming about God. And it's just so interesting how they found um, God, as they reported, in the midst of this extremism. And I just think it's so, it's such a, it's like, it comes with a lot of pain, but then it's also really really interesting that this is, yeah, that it's just life change in Gaza. So it means that even though Hamas is brainwashing minds, this is what I take from this, that even if Hamas is brainwashing your mind, brainwashing to hate day and night, perpetrating acts of terror, God still works there. And that's honestly amazing to think about it.
First, that everything, and when I was praying for God, like to heal, He healed my children, like they almost died. And I had like, I had something like, I know there's a God, and I start to pray like from 2012 till 2014. There was a war between Hamas and Israel, and I remember the IDF.
I, by the way, was in Gaza during this war. So this is, I'm super curious to know what she has to say about it.
Called my ex-husband, and they
Wait,
asked him
wait,
to.
wait, wait.
There was a war between Hamas and Israel, and I remember the IDF called my ex-husband, and they asked him to call my neighbors because they want to bomb their home. And he told him like, oh, no one is home, because Israel is caring for the civilians' life. They calling people before they bomb their houses. They are not killing the houses and randomly. So
She's just proving what I've been saying, Israel has been saying for years. We don't target civilians. I think somebody needs to show this to, at the UN General Assembly, to watch this interview and see the real reality for Palestinians in Gaza. They know the truth. They know that we don't want to target civilians. She's saying the IDF called my husband to warn the neighbors. So this is just she's definitely telling the truth. I was there in Gaza, and I was never ever instructed to target civilians. Actually, they said very very clearly, they said, you are not, this is not your mission to target civilians, and you have to avoid that at all costs. But of course, we have to remember that war is ugly, and we're dealing with a Hamas terrorist organization that hides behind their own people. So that makes the job a lot harder for the Israeli army, especially with this recent war that we saw.
in that night, they bombed our neighbor's house, and it was so scary for me. I feel like, oh, I will.
But so I just continued the interview, and that's what she said. I'm telling you, if she was doing this interview on an outlet like CNN, they would probably cut everything she said up until that point and said they bombed our home and we were so scared, without saying the whole context behind behind that yeah, up until that moment.
Will die soon. So I've been crying a lot. And that night I said, God, if you are exist, please, I want to know you. I want to call your name. I want you to save me. So in that night, I was dreaming, and I saw myself with my mom, and my mom passed away in 2005, and that was in 2014. I saw my mom, and we've been sitting in a balcony, and the moon was so big and come closer to us. And my mom asked me to look at the moon, and I saw Jesus' face coming out the moon, and he was speak to me in Arabic, and he said, "Ana Rab Yeshua," like I'm the God Jesus. And he was talking to me. But what I'm remembering, he was say, "Inti binti ma tkhafi." You are my daughter. Don't be afraid. So I feel like, okay. When I woke up, I feel like maybe it's just take a second, but I feel like there is a moment, I feel like there's a light in the room, something like, oh, this is real. So I never heard about Yeshua's name before because we call him Isa in Quran. I never been with the Christian people. Like my community is 100% Islam. Like when I was in Qatar in the schools, it's 100% Islam. And like my activities was like going to the Islamic center and memorization Quran. And I never met Christian people in my life to see like people come and told me about Jesus. No one told me about him before. But when I heard the name, I feel like it's a beautiful name and he's a beautiful God. And I feel peace inside my heart. It's like for the first time, I feel like someone's loved me. Like, oh, someone's loved me, because I never feel loved with my family. Like, because they are, I don't hate them. I love my family, but being Muslim, it's being, you don't have peace, you know, because God is always mad about Muslims. God's always mad. So,
Wow. I mean, honestly, this is, like I said, it's just insane how so many people that were in dark places, you know, like in Gaza, in the stronghold of Hamas, Gaza City, or other places. I do actually wonder, where did she live? Um, you know, it's just crazy that they were, um, like, God found them rather than them finding God. And people can have different opinions, but I just take what she says, and I just think it's so amazing, because as an Israeli, you know, we live um few dozens of kilometers from the Gaza Strip, and I don't feel hate in my heart to the people that are, you know, few kilometers away from me there in Gaza. But I do know that there are a lot of them that wish destruction upon me. There was a poll, so that there was ran and showed that most Palestinians are happy with Hamas wanting to destroy Israel. I didn't get in depth into the poll, because I think that there is a lot of criticism towards Hamas, but the overall goal to see the destruction of Israel, that's something that the vast majority supported, be it Hamas doing it or somebody else. So I think the poll basically said that they want to see the destruction of Israel, but they just don't want to pay the price if that plan goes south. So this is look, her story is really, that it's very unique. Obviously, I do hope and pray in my heart that a lot, we're gonna see a lot more in Gaza, that their eyes open up to see the truth, not just about Israel, but mostly about their own identity, to find their identities. Your identity in Hamas, your identity in being Palestinian. If so, what does that mean to you? Or is your identity being a human being that pursues peace? Look, her interview, I think that's only half of the interview. I do recommend you to go and watch the full interview, but I have to say, this is just really mind blowing. And let me know in the comments if you enjoy me reacting to these videos. And I also invite you to visit uh, theisraelstore.com. You can shop and find shirts, watches, and shofars that support local businesses in Israel that are struggling in this war. And if you made it until the end of this video, so I have actually a surprise for you. Let me know in the comments if you reached until the end. Comment, I don't know, comment banana, because I have a very interesting announcement that I'm gonna make very soon. So those of you that commented, you're gonna get a first update when that when that announcement comes, and it's going to be very soon. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and shalom from Israel.